Welcome to Sunday Mornings with Enlightenism. I'm Brother Malcolm,
I'm Sister Carolyn.
and we are here to share some wonderful Enlightenism insights with you about a new way to think and live. We promote the power is in you, and it exists in you as consciousness. That's where God is. In you as consciousness.
Absolutely.
Sister Carolyn is going to get us started today. She's an Enlightenism practitioner, teacher, workshop facilitator, and a lady on a mission to share as much information as she can with as many people as she can about Enlightenism. Here's Sister Carolyn.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Malcolm. Enlightenism, that is what I do. That is who I am. I am an Enlightenism teacher and consciousness practitioner. That is what I promote in the world. A new way to think and live. And when we understand what I'm saying in this moment about a new way to think and live, that brings about a different understanding, a different vision for living. You're not living from the norms of society or politics, those things that are taught to everybody. We're taught to live in the world. We're not taught how to live with ourselves, how to be that world we want to see, how to be the greater I. And that is what Enlightenism does. And along life's journey, we simply work to move when we're not in the Enlightenism mode to be more of what others expect us to be. And we forget all about ourselves. We forget about the value of the self. We forget that we were born whole, perfect, and complete, faceless, formless, and colorless, and have everything that we will ever need for the journey. So there is no need for me to try and be like someone else. Where there is a change involved is in the mindset that we have been living with, a mindset that is not comfortable, a mindset that is not based on one's feelings, one's willingness to call forward their values. It is about hiding from the self that we were born with. What I know is that wherever I go, everyone possesses the same quality and the same birth, that you are born whole, perfect, and complete, faceless, formless, and colorless, and have everything that you will ever need for the journey. I know that I can't say that enough. It is what I do in life. And when you're enrolled in any of my classes, you find out what you can do to bring the value of your living into being. In everything that you do, be, and say. Enlightenism is not something that we practice one day of the week. Enlightenism is spiritual living in the moment, each and every moment that we live. And whenever anything occurs, it is to respond from this being, knowing that you have everything that you will ever need for the journey. You don't have to pop back and look for some rule that will fit the event or the experience that you're having. You are greater than the I that you created. And in Enlightenism, there are many parables that we use. Who are you aware of being? I am greater than the I that I created. Those statements, or those cones as I like to call them, are statements that open up the mind, that bring a new awareness to being. It also allows you to accept responsibility for your living. Enlightenism says in the first principle, I am responsible for the current conditions in my life. Enlightenism also says, I have the power to change the way that I think and live in this world. And how we do that is by unlearning. And I'll share with you a short Buddhist parable about two arrows. This man was walking in the forest, and he was hit by an arrow. It was unexpected. He was hit by the arrow. And then he started saying, well, I knew that I was going to be hit by an arrow, but why do I always have to be the one that gets hit? I didn't deserve this. Whoever did that, they shouldn't have done that. And he went on and on, adding to the event that he had experienced. And the idea of the two arrows is the first was the arrow that hit him. But the second arrow was what he started to do to himself. And that second arrow is suffering. And what that parable says is this. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is an option. And what I know about living life as an Enlightenist is that when pain comes to us, we either move not to give ourselves the second arrow or the suffering from the pain. But Enlightenism says there is a new way to think and live. And with Enlightenism, the idea is to unlearn the suffering. All too often we are taught suffering in our life. And so, because it is something that we've learned to do from the teachers that we've had, and that's society, that's all of the things that we expose our children to along life's journey. And the idea of Enlightenism is to understand the self. The idea is to understand that we can unlearn so that we change the way that we think and live. In Brother Malcolm's first book, The New African American Man, he talks so eloquently about growing up and about being this little kid and taking on the world. And the stories that are contained in the book are really not so much about Brother Malcolm as it is about each and every one of us. We're all conditioned the same way. And we bring stories, we bring teachings into our lives, and we work to live from them so that we can live in the outside world. But yet within ourselves, we are homeless. And one of the things this book can do, which is The New African American Man, is to bring us out of the homeless state of living. The homeless state of living is an option that we use in our living. And I am here to say, as an Enlightenist, you don't have to do that. Suffering is an option, and we don't need to take that option to live. What I know about walking through your own life, Understanding and unfolding your life is about bringing the greater vision of yourself to who you are. I invite you all to pick up the books that we have on the market. The first being The New African American Man. This is our fourth book, Enlightenism, where you can uncover the beingness that you are. It is now time for Brother Malcolm, and so I give you teacher, author, and creator of Enlightenism, Brother Malcolm.
Thank you so much, Sister Carolyn, for getting us started. Wonderful insights. I am Brother Malcolm, Powers of the Mind author, a man who believes that the greater power of God exists in you. You are not a victim. You do not have to struggle. You can have the freedom that you desire by trusting the power within you to imagine yourself to be one with this power. If you want to imagine yourself to be someone great, why not go to the top? Why settle for the bottom? Imagine yourself being God with a God-like consciousness. That's the great model. But we don't think that we can imagine ourselves to be powerful. So we limit ourselves. We accept all of the mundane things in the world that people have set aside for us, and we ignore this great power that's within us. I am greater than the I that I created. Who are you aware of being today? Who is the person that you are aware of being? And what kind of power do you have? Well, if you are unaware of the power that you possess within yourself, you have very limited power. Create a person in the image of a powerful mind. Bring in your life an image of yourself with power. Dare to be in the privacy of your thoughts to imagine yourself a powerful person. Going beyond all of the comparisons that you're trying to compare yourself to people in the world. And believe that only some people were great. That all the things go back to what happened in history with the Buddha, Jesus Christ, Muhammad, Krishna, all of those people. Well, guess what? You have what they have. You have in you what they had. But they were willing to go to the next level to imagine themselves being greater than the conditions in their lives. And that's what Enlightenism is about, folks. Imagining that you are greater than the way that you have devalued yourself by accepting someone else's interpretations about who you are, who they are, and what the world is all about. You are greater than the person that you are aware of being. And when you understand who you are and you get the knowledge that's within you, now you have some knowledge. You're not going to get caught up in artificial intelligence. It's just that, artificial. Coming out of the mind of some human being. But everybody's on the fad. Want to learn everything about it. I'm not knocking it. What I am saying, I'm talking about something different. I'm talking about spiritual freedom. Not artificial freedom. Not artificial spirituality. Now you see the connection. See, artificial spirituality is that someone created the artificial spirituality based upon their interpretations about something they wanted to create. We want to create this. And we want to make it and eat it, that everybody has to think this way. When you want to get off of the crowded path with everything that everybody's doing in the world, to take this narrow road or path that leads into your mind, that requires courage. Give up all and follow me. You've heard that statement. Well, they thought it was follow a man. Let's follow Jesus. It's not what it was about. It was the power in Jesus that was speaking. The God-like power in Jesus, talking to the man Jesus. Give up everything. Let go of all the artificial things that are happening in your life and get direct communication for yourself. That's what this is about. You. It's not about somebody else. It's not about idolizing someone else. It's about you and how you feel in the life and what are you doing with your life today. What do you think of yourself? Do you have the power to imagine yourself being greater than the person you are today? Or are you building a kingdom in your own mind around materialism and victimization? Two things that shouldn't go together. But it happens in this country. There are people with wealth, but they're victims. Victims of race and color and other aspects of society, gender, all of these things that human beings are creating. When you want to free yourself of the conditions in your life today, look no further than what's in you. The God consciousness is in you. And when you have the power, I shouldn't say when you have the power, when you have the willingness and the determination to imagine yourself being godlike, then your actions must mirror that which you have imagined yourself to be, and that you have accepted yourself being this being that you have imagined yourself to be. Everything must come forth out of you. See, everything that comes out of us comes out in the image that we have created for ourselves. So if you believe you must work hard outside to try to do things for people, then that's what you are doing all the time. If you want to ignore yourself, then you're ignoring yourself all the time, and most of the things that you do are not about who you're aware of being. You're chasing, trying to make this world better. Better how? What is the image that you have of better? And what power do you have to make it better? People have to choose to make their own lives better individually. That's where the change begins, in the individual. The individual must be willing to change. You must be willing to stop and thinking of yourself as a victim of society, so that you embrace a new awareness of being whole, perfect, and complete. And this new awareness of being comes from the consciousness within you. You have a power in you that's greater than you, but if you don't believe it, then it's not in you. If you're unwilling to trust yourself, get the knowledge that's within you, then you are going to trust someone. And someone you're going to trust is some artificial information that you're going to get hung up on, and you're going to move further and further away from who you are.
Absolutely.
In consciousness. But you cannot run away from yourself.
Okay.
Try it sometime. See if you can run away from your childhood.
See who you take with you.
Yes, that's what you, see if you can do it. See, the whole purpose of this book, Enlightenism, is understanding how to disconnect your mind from your previous childhood experiences, so that you can let that person die that had all of the suffering, all of the pain in your mind. Let the person go. Live in the now. Who are you now? Don't talk about I'm a former somebody. I used to do this. What are you doing now in your life? That's the key. What are you doing now? And if you're working in the mind, then you're working in consciousness. And what you are working is to understand what this book is really about.
Absolutely.
This book is Enlightenism. It's a new way to think and live. And when you know a new way to think and live, what do you know? You know something about yourself.
Absolutely.
Know something about yourself and the power
Always.
within you. Don't believe that you are the way that other people have defined you, and use someone else's information to define yourself. And then when you define yourself, you are less than who you really are. Be the power. Imagine yourself to be greater than the person you're currently aware of being. I'm Brother Malcolm.
I'm Sister Carolyn.
Thank you for stopping by. Join us again.
on the Enlightenism road.
On the Enlightenism path. Have a great day, folks.